Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm DizzyAngelDemon and thank you for joining me for part 2 of my painting Bonesylvanian Chibi Mermaid Mary by Reaper Miniatures. Right now I'm just working on brightening up her tail and adding some highlights, so I'm going in with a thin coat of a lighter teal version of the base coat that I applied in the previous video. And I'm just going to kind of work that and build it up gradually till it's looking the way that I want. Yeah, so what to talk about. I'm really rusty with making these videos, so please bear with me while I get back into things. I haven't even been painting for, gosh, it's probably been a couple of years now. It's really, really horrible. But this is like the first figure I've painted in at least a year. And I'm really happy to be painting again. It felt really good, and I actually pumped out 3 minis in a row. Filmed everything, so there'll be some videos coming up of all that. Yeah, so here I'm just applying like another coat of that teal color, again building it up until it reaches like the color that I'm looking for. I really love these Bonesylvanian miniatures. If you're not familiar with them, they are like special release minis that Reaper put or used to put out around Halloween. I think it's been at least a couple years since they've put any out, unfortunately, because they're really great. They're really cute. They're kind of like horror monster sort of based miniatures. Mary the Mermaid or Siren is probably like the least horror type figure in the series. They're still up on their website, but they're not for sale. They're just kind of like there for historical purposes, so you can go and check back in on them. It'd be really great if they release some more of these, because I'm a huge fan of these little miniatures. I love chibi minis. If you know me at all, you'll already know this about me. And the fact that they're based around like horror, iconic horror characters and things like that makes it even better. So we'll see what happens. Let's see what's going on, because I haven't been paying attention to the video. So I'm still going around and adding highlights to the tail, like just along her, I don't know what you would call that, like waist fin or something. I'm not really sure. And then like the little strands on her tail and things like that. Just anywhere that I want to brighten up and make pop a little bit more. Gosh, where was I? Train of thought gone. Again, very rusty with making these videos, so I'm probably going to ramble on about a lot of nothing. What was I doing here in the video? Yes, I went in, I think, with an even lighter shade of teal. It's like almost white, to just make some areas really pop on there even more, so you can tell the difference with the main area of the tail versus those little details that I want to bring out. And here I'm going in with that lime green. It's like a neon lime greenish yellow. I think it was like a Vallejo color. Let me just see here if I can find it. Anyway, I will keep talking while I look. I'm just going through, and anywhere where I had green, I'm adding kind of like some detailed highlights just to make everything stand out even more. And I'm also adding that lime green because it's kind of a translucent yellow-green color. So I'm adding it to the brightest areas on her tail and kind of tying everything in together that way. And the color is, I believe I was actually using Demonic Yellow by the Army Painter, because this color is actually sort of translucent. My apologies. So it was Demonic Yellow by the Army Painter War Paints, and this is an older version of it. I'm not sure if they've revamped this one, but it is semi-translucent. So it covers the white areas. Covers over white areas really nicely, but if you're trying to cover over something dark, it's going to take a lot of layers, so I always recommend adding a bit of white under there. And getting back to what I'm doing in the video, because I'm rambling again. So here I decided to go in with some light, kind of like a seafoam light turquoise green color and add in a bunch of tiny little dots to mimic these scales on her tail. And it's actually a lot less complicated than it looks. It just requires a light touch. Diluted paint, but not too diluted because you don't want it to like spread out everywhere whenever you're making your little dots, but you do want it to flow off the brush. A thing with small brushes like that, I tend to find that if your paint is too thick and you're trying to do really fine little details like that, it's just not going to come off the brush, and you're gonna have to put too much pressure. You're gonna get a bigger dot than you're looking for. So it's all about finding that right consistency. The right consistency, yeah. Again, very rusty here. Please bear with me. If you're uncertain of, you know, if it's gonna flow properly or whatnot, you can just test it out on your hand. You can see that I use my hand as a palette a lot. It's just really close by, and I can easily access the paints that I'm working with. But I do have my wet palette off to the side where all of the mixes and things like that I'm working with are situated, so you might see me go over and grab some paint, drop it on my hand, and then I'm working with it. Here I was adding a second layer of little dots because I kind of wanted to build it up, and that way there you can see the lighter ones behind the brighter ones, and it gives you some depth and whatnot. So that's all for today's video. Please join me next time for part 3. And again, I just want to take a second here and mention that Reaper Minis is having a Kickstarter, Bones 4, Mr. Bones' Totally Epic Adventure. So check that out on Kickstarter for some really cool minis at a really great price, and it's supporting a company to produce some pretty awesome minis. So thanks guys so much for joining me. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye!